Yes, and we're back talking about Terrence Howard again. All right, so this guy, he's been kind of quiet lately. I haven't heard from him since a couple of weeks when Eric Weinstein was on Joe Rogan with him, and kind of danced around Eric kind of told him to his face that he's full of crap, Terrence is, but Eric was still trying to, I don't know, cater to Terrence or something. I'm gonna do another video about Eric Weinstein at another time because the more I learn about this guy named Eric Weinstein, the more I figure he's just a political, you know, BSer like most of them are. Smart, very intelligent guy, but he's using, in my opinion, Eric Weinstein uses his superhero powers for bad, not good. But that's another video for another day. But Terrence Howard. Let's talk about Terrence Howard. Great actor. I like him, I've seen him in lots of movies before. I think he's a wonderful actor. Um, and he has a dark past with domestic violence. But I'm not here to talk about the man as a man because I don't know him personally. Well, I'm not here to talk about his personal life. Let's put it that way. But Terrence Howard has been going on a tour, it seems like, just spreading false and pseudoscience crap. We are living in an age right now where apparently there's a war on facts. There's a war on education. There's a war on science. And I used to be the biggest Joe Rogan fan as far as for his podcast. But Joe Rogan podcast is just basically a place where he puts people on that, in my opinion, is a detriment to the human civilization. What do I mean by that? I mean, Joe Rogan has these people on his podcast with conspiracy theories and pseudoscience and all this crap, and Joe barely checks them, or barely or barely pushes back. For example, Terrence Howard went on the Joe Rogan show, a couple of times, but he went on there one time and actually told Joe Rogan that he remembers when he was in his mother's womb, and instead of Joe Rogan checking him on that or pushing back on that, Joe Rogan basically said nothing and did nothing. Something that's clearly a blatant lie. Joe Rogan just let him talk. And of course, the famous 1 times 1 equals 2 that Terrence Howard came up with. And that's why in the thumbnail I put this guy's dumb, because at this point he's just dumb. Terrence Howard is just dumb, stupid. Either he's dumb and stupid, or he's playing dumb and stupid at this point. All right. He basically claims that he's smarter than Einstein. Yes, you heard me. Terrence Howard claims that he's smarter than Einstein. Yeah. That's how. So again, Terrence Howard is either dumb, playing dumb, or just mentally ill, or has a mental illness. In my opinion, I think he's a narcissist, big time, allegedly. And this is when, he's a narcissist. He's a, elite. He's part of the elite. He's an actor. So I think because he's an actor and a narcissist and elite, he think he could just come on TV or on YouTube or social media, spew pseudoscience that I don't know. At this point, I don't know if he believes in his own BS or not. I really don't know if he does. But he comes on social media, all these platforms, spewing the pseudoscience. It's dangerous, y'all. It's dangerous, okay? And there's a war on science. I never thought I'd say this, but there's a war on science between people who believe in real science and people who don't believe in real science. I can't believe in this day or age, in 2024, people are still doubting basic science fact, like if the Earth is flat or not. Yeah, that was the thing. Um, B.O.B. rapper, the rap, the rapper B.O.B. Um, made the flat Earth theory more popular. But all of a sudden, he's quiet now. Can't hear for him. A mouse, you know. He started this whole charade. Well, he didn't start the flat Earth theory, but because he was a famous rapper, he made it more mainstream. And then once he realized how dumb it was, now he's hiding. Now you can't hear for him. Um, and at the end of the day, we all live on Earth. We all have to share this Earth. But unfortunately, there's just some dumb people on this Earth. I mean, at this point, I don't like calling people dumb because I'm a professor. Um, I love school. I have dozens of degrees. I mean not dozens. I have multiple degrees. But at this point, that's why I keep saying humans are not the smartest animals. Which is not. We could be easily manipulated. Um, if you, a lot of people think with them. A lot of people think emotionally, not logically. That's the problem. You know, for instance, like like Trump. Trump tells you who he is. He's a liar. He's all about the money. He doesn't care about Trump doesn't care about nobody else but his own, by himself. But yet people who follow him praise him like he talks bad about his own people in his political party. He talked bad about John McCain, who was a war veteran, a war hero, and his followers clapped. That's a sign of just those people thinking emotionally, not logically. So yeah, humans are not the smartest animals on Earth. I've been said that, and this is clear as day. And by smart, I'm not talking about driving a car or blah blah blah. I'm talking about just being smart in life. I don't know how nobody could see this guy's a fraud. I mean, Terrence Howard and Trump, but I'm talking about Terrence Howard right now. Terrence Howard is a complete fraud. I mean, it's obvious. I think he was on the Jimmy Fallon show or one of those shows. One of the shows Terrence Howard was on. Jimmy Fallon or one of those shows. But anyway, on national television, he lied and said that he received a PhD in mechanical engineering from some college. I forgot the college name he mentioned, but those were her words. He said he received a PhD from some college in mechanical engineering. And then which easily could be fact checked. So since everyone found out he lied about that, then later on he said, no, people misunderstood me. I didn't say I had a degree. I said I got an honorary degree from the. No, Terrence. You actually said you received a PhD in mechanical engineering. You lied, Terrence. You lied. So that alone should tell people that Terrence is full of shit. Terrence Howard, you are full of shit. I used to, like you as an actor. I thought you are, a very good actor. I still are a very good actor. But man, seeing this side of you, man, you let me down, bruh. You let me down, bruh. Again, you're either dumb, plain dumb, or you have a mental illness. At this point, if you're still going with that BS, 1 times 1 equals 2, and BS pseudoscience you're pushing, if you still believe in that crap, then it's out of 3 things. You're dumb, plain dumb, or have a mental illness. Those are the only options that you have that can apply to you right now, okay? And my thing is this. My thing is always with this. For everyone for people who don't believe in real science, why do you use our technology to tell us you don't believe in real science? That part always Nobody asked that question. Piers Morgan, nobody asked that question. Joe Rogan, for the people, for the people who don't believe in real science, why do you use our technology, which is made of real science, to talk about how you don't like real science? I mean, what are we doing here, people? Idiots. You know? At this point, and then we have Candace Owens, which I'm gonna do a video on her too. Her hyena face looking, but, yeah, I'm gonna do a video later on Candace Owens. She's probably the most vile human being I ever seen in his lifetime. But anyway, Terrence Howard, again, either he's an idiot, either he's dumb, plain dumb, or he has a mental illness. Because, you know, what he says about science is not just wrong, but it's dangerous. Because he's a popular actor, his fans, some of his fans, are gonna believe everything he says. Yeah, one time one is two. Yeah, Terrence is right. Terrence is a genius. You know, I'm an acupuncturist, and one of my patients came out a couple weeks ago and said, "Man, you know, Terrence Howard is smart, whatever." I said, "Wait a minute, stop right there." I said, "Stop right there. What's up, man? Art of War, Ohio State. Okay, Buckeyes, go Buckeyes. What's up, man? How you doing?" Yes. So one of my patients came out a couple weeks ago and said, "Terrence Howard is a genius." I stopped him. I said, "Wait a minute. Terrence Howard is not a genius. Terrence Howard is dumb. He's stupid." Okay. He goes, "Why?" I said, "Number one times one does not equal two. I mean, what are we doing here? That's like second, third grade math." But yes, and I'm mad at Joe Rogan, man. Joe Rogan, I love, you know, I'm a big UFC fan. I love Joe Rogan. I used to love the Joe Rogan podcast, but man, lately I haven't been watching it at all because Joe Rogan made it completely political, and then he has people on there. That's right, Out of War. Yes, Joe Rogan has people on there that comes on with all type of conspiracy theories and you know, conspiracy theories and false science, pseudoscience, and Joe Rogan never checks them. You know what I mean? What's up, John? How you doing, John? Yeah, Out of War. Joe Rogan is definitely high all the time. And again, I fuck with Joe Rogan. You know, I just think that Joe Rogan has a big platform. He has to understand that he has millions of followers, millions of fans, and he can't use his platform. He can't platform people that come on there and do false science and then he doesn't check them. It's one thing to have, you know, free speech is okay, but you got to push back on these pseudoscience falsehoods that goes on there. You know, Terrence Howard went on Joe Rogan and said one times one equals two, and Joe Rogan didn't push back, didn't say, "Hey, it's wrong," nothing. Joe Rogan just sat there. Terrence Howard also said that he remembered being in his mother's stomach and looking at his hand. I'm in the medical field. I got news for you. It's impossible if you 6 months in your it's impossible to be 6 months in your mother's belly and to remember everything. You don't even have a concept of language yet. But then Terrence Howard says he remembered being in, you know, 6 months in his belly and then telling himself, "Oh, my friend is here." And then he realized it wasn't his friend, it was his hand. So you mean to tell me at 6 months he had a full language already? At 6 months old. And Joe Rogan didn't push back. Joe Rogan's like, "Wow, really? Oh my gosh." You know, Terrence Howard is people like him are gonna be the downfall of the human civilization because he's pushing these false facts, you know, alternative facts. He's pushing a nonsense, pseudoscience. He's pushing false stuff about math, and because he's a popular actor, he's gonna have an audience. All right, but don't worry, people like me, and people like Professor Dave and other people who are intellectuals, or we're gonna push back. This is definitely a war on science, a war on facts, and we're gonna push back because number one, we're smarter than them. Number one, and number two, we need to oppose this, man. We can't let these people run the world. People like Candace Owens, who's a dummy, Terrence Howard, who's a dummy, Joe Rogan, who's just high all the time, like you said, spewing all this, saying all these conspiracy theories and false information. We need to push back on that, man. And that's why I've always said I hate when people say college isn't for everybody. Actually, college is for everybody. You know, Joe Rogan, was you listening? He thought ex-wife saying, as scholar. Yes, thank God he brought Eric Weinstein as a to kind of like put Terrence in his place. Eric has his own weird background, but for the most part, he did tell Terrence Howard to his face bluntly that he's just wrong. And the look on Terrence Howard's face when Eric told him that he was wrong, the look on Terrence Howard's face, he had that smug look, like, yeah, I'm better than you look. Terrence Howard actually said that he's smarter than Einstein. He didn't say those words, but he said, well, things went wrong after the theory of relativity got proposed. Basically saying that Terrence Howard actually thinks he's smarter than Einstein, yo. I'm gonna say it again. Terrence Howard actually thinks he's smarter than Einstein. Wow. Now you see what I mean when I say I think he's a little cuckoo? Yeah, I think Terrence Howard is a little cuckoo at this point. I don't even think he's dumb. I mean, he's dumb, but I think he has some mental illness going on here. It's not normal. It's not normal. It's just not. To go around, he has kids, he has a wife, and to go around and make a fool of himself, that's not normal. Yeah. In my opinion, allegedly, I think Terrence Howard has a mental illness, and I'm not picking on that. I'm just saying if Terrence Howard does have a mental illness, I think he should get checked for that. Because it's just outrageous. Right now, we are living in a crazy world, y'all. Social media is huge. Social media is blowing up, and because of that, there's pros and cons to social media. But the cons, many pros, but many cons. One of the cons is that people get to spread false information faster. Okay, but don't worry. People like me, Professor Dave, other intellectuals, we're gonna push back, and we're not gonna let people like Terrence Howard or Candace Owens. We're not gonna let people like that dominate the airways. And also, too, again, I'm gonna do a video of Candace Owens. Sorry, Candace Hyena Face Owens later on. But for those of y'all who want to listen to Candace Owens, said that she's gonna start talking medical stuff now, without any degree, by the way. For those of y'all who follow Candace Owens and believe her about medical stuff, good luck, man. I feel for y'all then, because she's gonna cause y'all to expire, if you know what I mean. If you listen to Candace Owens when it comes to medical stuff, or just anything, but when it comes to medical stuff and your health, she's gonna cause some of y'all to expire. Trust me. Okay? So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, Professor Dave going to. I would love to start a podcast with him. I haven't met the guy yet, but I love his videos. And I love how Professor Dave is blunt. He's blunt. He doesn't. I mean, Professor Dave doesn't pull any punches. That's what I like about that. I look rich. I'm actually not rich. Believe it or not. I'm an acupuncturist. I'm a professor and stuff like that. But By no means am I a millionaire. But yeah, I would love to do. I would love to talk. I would love to talk to Professor Dave. I have about I have a bachelor in biology, bachelor in health science, master's in acupuncture. I'm acupuncture. I mean, yeah, I love education and I love learning. That's why I get so upset when I see people like Terrence Howard and Candace Owens spewing, what I'm saying, pseudoscience. Because there have been hundreds, thousands of scientists in the past and present who dedicated their life to making our world better, to making new innovations, new inventions, new discoveries. These scientists, men and women, dedicated their life to make our life better with technology. And then you have Terrence Howard come along and basically crapping on all that because he's a narcissist, allegedly. Come on, man. Yes. At this point, I gotta be blunt with these dummies. Terrence Howard is dumb. Yes. Sorry. There's no other way to say it. If you're a grown, if you're an adult, and you think 1 times 1 equals 2, yeah, I mean, that means you're a dummy. So Terrence Howard, you're a dummy. And no, Terrence Howard, at 6 months old, you did not look at your hand in your mother's belly and said, "Ooh, it's my hand." Nah, it's physically impossible. It just is. Sorry, you're lying about that too. Okay. It's just amazing. That's why I say humans are not the smartest animals, man. Individually, there's some smart people individually, but as a whole, humans are dumb. Not everybody, of course. Not everybody is dumb, obviously, but some people are just dumb. That's why it's easy to scam people sometimes. That's why scammers are getting more popular these days, because it's easy to scam people now. Because some people believe anything. Some people believe anything. That's why these days it's easy to scam people. And Terrence Howard, to me, is a scammer. Not for your. I mean, by scammer, I'm not saying he wants your money. Not that type of scammer. I think he's a scammer because he's scamming people of their education. That's what I mean by that. Meaning that, when I say scammer, Terrence Howard don't want your money. He just want to make people dumb. The most powerful tool we have is our mind. The most powerful tool that we have is our mind. And we cannot let Terrence Howard and Candace Owens and people like that destroy our minds with BS. Again, it never fails to me. Terrence Howard said all the scientists are wrong. Yes, Terrence Howard did say that. He said all the scientists are wrong, and he said that he's right. Terrence Howard did say that. Okay? My question to Terrence Howard is, okay, Terrence Howard, if all the scientists are wrong and you're right, how come you're using technology made by real science to talk bad about real science? Please answer that for me, Terrence Howard. I'll wait. Terrence Howard, please answer. You claim you're right and you claim everybody else is wrong. You said all the scientists are wrong. So, if all the scientists are wrong, why are you using technology made by real science? If you drive a car, right? A car was made from real science, not your science. A car was made from real math, not your math. If you have a cell phone, the cell phone was made from real science and real math, not from your math. Can you imagine if people like Terrence Howard ruled the U.S. or the world? We'd be living in the Stone Age again. There'll be no electricity. There'll be no cell phones. There'll be no car. It'd be like just horses and a carriage. If people like Terrence Howard was president, or was, if people like Terrence Howard ruled the earth, or the U.S., we'll be in medieval times. There'll be no cars at all. There'll be no electricity in the house. That's physics, by the way, Terrence. Just in case you didn't know that. So thank God Terrence Howard and people like him are not in the majority of the governments around the world. So yes, if I saw Terrence Howard, I would say that to his face too. I would say to his face, "You're dumb. What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? Beat me? Good luck with that. Um, so that's my thing, man. And at this point, I'm just tired of being, quiet. I'm tired of being quiet. There's too much false information going out there, pseudoscience, um, and and again, Candace Owens. Oh yeah, Candace Owens. I'm coming for you too. Candace Owens wants to talk about medical health stuff now. Okay, because Candace Owens is just Candace Hyena Face Owens is just a vile human being, a vile human being. But yeah, I'm a challenger also. Oh yes, yes, yes. I'm tired of sitting back and saying nothing. So Candace Owens, Terrence Howard, people who promote um false pseudoscience. Oh yeah, don't worry, it's on. Us intellectuals are gonna outsmart y'all because we can, because we're smarter than y'all. Um, again, it's not about bragging, but if somebody believes 1 times 1 equals 2, yeah, that means I'm smarter than you. Okay. So please, everybody, please, I'm not saying believe me. I'm not saying believe Professor Day. I'm not saying believe this person, that person. Do your own research when it comes to certain stuff, okay? Do your own research, all right? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to real science, it can easily be fact checked. About Trump shooting, me personally, I'm not gonna vote for Trump, but at the same time, you know, I'm glad Trump is okay. I don't think no president should get assassinated. No, you know what I mean. So, I was not cool with the shooting. It's not cool. Again, I'm not gonna vote for Trump, but at the same time, I don't want him hurt or killed. So yeah, I'm not with that at all. You know, um, I believe, when it comes to politics, debate. Have debates and let the people vote. Have debates, multiple debates, and let the people vote who they want. All right, all right. So yeah, so yes, I'm not a fan of the shooting at all. Um, was it fake? It's funny. At the beginning, when it first happened, I thought it was kind of fake a little bit because I'm like, wait a minute, what are the odds of a bullet just basically just grazing the ear like that, like, like 1 centimeter away from his head? Like, at first I thought it was kind of fake. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was fake shooting at the beginning, but like I said, somebody actually died, and other people got shot, whatever. So I was like, okay, so it was definitely real bullets. So rest in peace to the guy who passed away. Um, I wish his family the best. But yeah, but apparently he got shot in the ear. It's definitely a weird story though. I ain't gonna lie, it's definitely a weird story. It still don't make sense to me because I saw a video where somebody pointed out the shooter on the roof, but the cops did nothing until after the shooting. I don't know. The whole thing is kind of weird to me. I don't know what's going on. Some people think it was fake. I think sympathy. And that's the thing. Knowing Trump, he would do something like that. Knowing Trump, he would do something like that to get sympathy. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to say that. He will. And the fact that to say he got shot in the ear, I mean, I don't know what's going on. It's definitely a weird story. I'll tell you one thing. Trump got no sympathy. I mean, I'm still not voting for him. I'm glad he's okay, but I'm not voting for him. Never will. I think he's very divisive. What's crazy about Trump also is that is that Trump talks bad about other Republicans, and his fans still cheers him on. So I don't know, it's crazy to me. What is that? Yeah, Axel Foley, Beverly Hills Cop. Uh, It's okay. Let's not go for it. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. You're right. You're right. You're right. No political talk. No political talk. But yeah. So as far as Terrence Howard, Terrence Howard's an idiot. And please, people, don't follow Terrence Howard. Do your own fact check. Do your own fact check, man. You know what I mean? I'm not saying believe me. If I say something about science or stuff like that, do your own homework. Do your own homework. You know what I mean? Because I don't know everything. That I can tell you. I try to learn stuff every day. You know. Now I do have again, I am in the health field. I do see patients. I have like 3 degrees, but I'm not the smartest guy. But I still have a lot to learn. I'll never tell you that I know everything. But Terrence Howard claims he knows everything. You know. You know. So Terrence Howard claims, I try to be fair. I try to be fair. Believe it or not, I try not to be biased. I try not to be biased, believe it or not. Especially when it comes to just stuff in general. You know? But again, when it comes to I like Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan sometimes have guests on that come up with conspiracy theories and pseudoscience, and sometimes Joe Rogan does not check them, or at least push back. And I think that's wrong. I think Joe Rogan should push back on some of the insane things that some of the guests says. All right? It's a free country. Free speech is real. You can say whatever you want, but I have a right to challenge that. Okay? If I come out and say elephants can fly, don't just take my word for it. Research it. Say, hey, but push back. If I come out and say, hey, I saw a dinosaur in my backyard, don't just believe me. Ask me questions. Push back. And Joe Rogan does not push back on some of his guests. So then Terrence Howard is like going on tour, saying like false science, and no one. Eric Weinstein checked him, kind of. You humble. I think that's all. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I tell people this all the time. I'm always trying to learn stuff every day. I try to be a better person every day and learn stuff every day. Everyone should try to learn every day, but also learn from the right source. Okay? And in my opinion, if Terrence Howard had, come out and say, hey, I don't know that much, I want to learn stuff. And this is the right way to do stuff. But Terrence Howard just came out and says he's smarter than everybody. He said that. He thinks he's smarter than Einstein. My gosh. That right there should tell you this guy has, screw loose. Never in my wildest dreams will I ever think you will never hear me say I'm smarter than Einstein. Come on. Oh my gosh. Nah. So, anyway, I'm just, here venting. But again, for Candace Owens and Terrence Howard and everyone's spreading pseudoscience, B.O.B., flat earthers, and whatever, don't worry. The intellectuals are coming after y'all with facts, okay? So every time y'all drop some pseudoscience, we're gonna be right there dropping facts, okay? So there's only so much and by default, because we're smarter than y'all, we should win this battle in the battle. Again, when I say smarter than y'all, I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if somebody thinks 1 × 1 = 2, then yes, that means I'm smarter than them. That means everybody in this chat is smarter than Terrence Howard. Yes, everybody in this chat is smarter than Terrence Howard for sure. For sure. Cause I'm pretty sure all y'all in the chat knows that 1 × 1 = 1, not 2. So just by that alone, I already know that y'all way smarter than Terrence Howard. And yes, I hope one day I get the opportunity to talk to Terrence Howard. I'm gonna be respectful, but I'm gonna be blunt. I'm gonna tell him to his face that what he's saying is dumb. Yeah. Yeah, if I get the chance, okay, if I get the chance to talk to Terrence Howard, I'm gonna tell him to his face, yeah, what you're saying is dumb. I think you're dumb. Um, because you know, it is what it is, man. And he's a liar. You know, Terrence Howard claims he has over 90 patents. First of all, he's lying about that. Terrence Howard does not have 90 patents. Okay, he has around 10 or something that's official around there, and half of them are for kid toys, and the other half is like for, you know what I mean, dumb stuff. Um, and just because you have a patent don't mean you discover something brand new. I could I could get a patent of some BS pseudoscience. If I just do the proper paperwork, I can get a patent too. Because it makes them important, the main character. Yes, exactly. It makes a good point actually. It makes him the main character. And because Terrence Howard is an actor, right? So he definitely likes being the main character, the main actor. So yes, now everyone's talking about him now, you know. And my thing is, he has kids. He's married with kids. He's married and has kids, and he's going around embarrassing himself and his family at this point. Cat Williams with the Joe Rogan. Yes, yes, Auto War. Oh my gosh, thank you. And I love Cat Williams. Very funny guy. Very funny guy. I saw Cat on Shannon Sharp. I like, man, awesome, awesome. But then I saw him Joe Rogan. I'm like, Cat, what are you saying? No, no. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes, Auto War. I saw that too, man. I saw that too. I was like, I started watching the podcast, to be honest. I think about half an hour in, I started watching it. You know, Cat Williams, Joe Rogan, because I was excited Cat was on Joe Rogan. But then half an hour in, I said, I can't watch this anymore. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Cat Williams was talking about. You know, at this point, I said, you know what? Okay. Wow. I mean, I still love Cat Williams though, as a comic and stuff like that. But man, I don't know why he. Yes, 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 Auto War. Yeah, I tried to watch. I couldn't watch the whole podcast. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. You know. But I didn't. But again, I love Joe Rogan. Just so y'all know, here's my background. Okay. Yes, I'm an acupuncturist and professor, whatever. But believe it or not, I used to do MMA. All right. I actually met Dana White before. I tried it for the UFC back in 2009. Sorry, 2005 or 6. Okay. So I love the UFC. That's why I said, I love Joe Rogan. All right. I just think his podcast lately has been, what's the word? Just inaccurate. You know, he has people on there just talking BS, and at least push back. Okay, my podcast is actually coming out soon too. It's called Talking Wild. But when I have guests on my podcast in the future, I'm gonna push back on some of the stuff they say. You know, I'm not gonna let people. I'm not gonna let people come out. I'm not going to let people come on my podcast and tell lies or false science and don't say nothing. I'm gonna push back. Okay, so for all the future guests on my podcast, if y'all come in talking crazy, I'm gonna push back on that. All right, so if y'all come in talking about conspiracy theories and this and that and this and that and the third, I'm gonna push back. Okay, so my podcast is gonna be a place where we're gonna have dialect, back and forth dialect, but I'm not gonna let you come on there and just make my audience dumber, and that's the point. Joe Rogan has a huge following, right? So millions of followers. Terrence Howard goes on there, and Joe Rogan exposes his audience to this pseudoscience stuff. And Joe Rogan, it's just not fair. Joe Rogan, that's not fair to your fans, man. Excuse me. Joe Rogan, that's not fair to your fans, man. Your followers. Joe Rogan, I know you can't. Joe Rogan, I know you care about your followers. I know you care about them. If you do care about them, which I think you do, don't let people come on your podcast to dumb down your audience, okay? You have a loyal fan base. The least you could do is push back on some of the BS that your guest says. Because at this point, you're going to guide your audience to be dumber. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You care about your audience. I know you do. So don't make them go down that road. Anyway, everybody, I've been venting long enough. Thank you for joining me. And check out my next live, all right? I'll see y'all next time. All right, peace.